Здравствуйте, товарищи, and welcome back to Stalin's StarCraft 2 Battle Report. And I got another excellent match lined up for you guys. I can't remember what this map is called. I think they changed it since the beta. It used to be called like Desanka or something. Now it's something else. I don't know. I'll look it up before I post this video. But anyway, I will be commanding the red Terran over in this corner. On the other side, my ally Xeno will be commanding the blue Zerg, and across the map, Tarjikic will be commanding the purple Protoss, and Pathogenocide will be commanding the teal Protoss. And I really, yeah. And some of these guys just have like the weirdest names. Just really annoying to try and pronounce. So anyway, I've decided that now I'm switching from playing Terran to playing random, because I guess I switched from playing Zerg to playing random because you know, I had unlocked my 50 wins Zerg portrait, and I decided, okay, you know what, I'm tired of the Zerg for a little bit. Let's do some other guys. So anyway, I'm just building up my base, and me and my ally are chatting things up. He was a cool guy, by the way, so I decided that I would add him after the match was over. So, not a lot going on the early game here. I decided to go for a new tactic in this one because you know, I was the Terran. I haven't found many good, like really good Terran tactics. So I decided, what would happen if I just, massed Marines and see if that does anything for me. And we'll see. We'll see if it does. From the other side, we've got a gateway down by the purple Protoss, and another gateway down by the teal Protoss. You can see that also he's gone for a forge, meaning, of course, we're going to see photon cannons from him. So already, Xeno's got a couple Zerglings out on the field, just either going to see what kind of damage he can do or scout things out. It's a little bit late in the game for a 6-pool at this point, so I'm assuming he's just gonna see what's going down with these Zerglings. They're gonna meet up with these Zealots here, and of course these Zealots are gonna win this little skirmish pretty handily. So we can already see 4 Zealots pushing out across the field. I didn't have a lot at this point. I had 2 Marines sitting outside the base waiting to see what's gonna go down. And here come the Zealots, charging out across the field. Gonna come here and try and attack my base first, but they're gonna see that I got things nice and blocked off, so they're not gonna stick around for very long. It's kinda like, okay, you know what, F this. And I'm desperately trying to produce more barracks and get more troops out on the field, because I know that those Zealots are coming, and those Zealots are prowling out around the field, ready to get some blood and looking for some blood to spill. So, getting as many barracks as I can down, trying to get as many Marines out as I possibly can, in order to try and fight this fight. Xeno's got some roach warden down and roaches coming out, which are, as long as you can move them around, very effective against Zealots, especially on their native creep. You can move plenty fast and move around those Zealots pretty easily. But he's only got a couple Zerglings, and those Zerglings are not going to be any kind of match for a Zerg force. He's got those roaches out. He's trying to move them around, trying to do what kind of damage he can. Those Zealots are closing in rapidly, and it looks like they might corner him. Nope, they're going to turn back and start going the other side. I'm bringing in some of my Marines to help him out. What forces I have are coming through. I'm going to charge them up this hill, and I'm going to try and micro these Marines around, killing what zealots I can with these guys. I'll be able to do some damage, but, you know, not a whole ton of damage. I got even more Marines coming out on the field. This time I've got 4 barracks up, 1 with a reactor, and I'm pumping out Marines at full force. And I'm able to effectively kill off what's left of this zealot force. Or maybe not, maybe they kill me instead. So I decide I'm going to gather up what's left of the Marine Corps. My ally had been killed in a zealot rush. Not having any forces left to spare. I'm going to send a couple more Marines just to, you know, get rid of those zealots. But the main force I have is going to push the enemy base. Me and these zealot forces are gonna dance around a little bit, trying to outmaneuver one another, trying to, you know, get the better and the upper hand over one another with our micro skills. But I'm gonna catch 2 zealots from the Teal Protoss out on their own and just rip those guys up. Of course, more and more Marines coming out. I can see that the Teal Protoss has just got a ton of cannons there, and I'm not going to push that fight. I'm not going to win that fight. And also the Purple Protoss has got a ton of zealots out himself. And I'm going to continually micro these Marines around, trying to keep one step ahead of these zealots. And clearly it looks like he's trying to surround me or get ahead of me with these forces. But I'm pulling them back. I've got more Marines coming in, and these 2 forces are going to regroup. We're effectively managing to destroy what of these zealot forces we can. We can see the purple's already expanded, and this expansion is very, very vulnerable. And I'm just continually moving around until I finally get a point where I can just tear up these zealots. Now the Marines are going to go back to work on destroying this expansion. And with even more reinforcements just being pumped out of the base as we speak. You can see that my ally has managed to find sanctuary and rebuilt his base here. See, of course he's got even more zealots out here, but these Marines are just going to prove too much, and they're going to charge up the ramp into the enemy base. And his probes are going to try and mass migrate. We've got, you know, more zealots coming in from the teal player. They're not going to be enough for this Marine force. And these guys are going to start tearing down the enemy structures. Of course, we can see a stream of reinforcements continually coming in to this battlefield. And it looks like Teal has focused all of his economy on building photon cannons, and he doesn't have enough units out on the field right now to pose any kind of real threat. I was really worried at this point that it was secretly building some epic force in his base that was gonna demolish my Marines. I was fearing that he had Colossi coming out. I would just tear my Marines asunder. But fortunately, he's just focusing on his own defense right now, saving his own hide for the inevitable siege that will come. Also, I noticed that Purple was trying to expand to this high yield resource. And of course, I'm not going to let that happen. I'm going to try and trap all of his probes that I can. And they're going to get destroyed by those Marines' assault rifles. And then the rest of his base is going to go down. Teal's got some reinforcements that are going to try and come in and help him out. But there's just too many Marines here. And he's done. So now purple has been completely destroyed. We've gotten the upper hand. And Teal's, in his base, trying to defend himself for the onslaught that will come. So at this point, I'm thinking, okay, how am I gonna break down this base here? I had been, kind of neglecting things on the home front because I was too busy micromanaging my Marines around to get the better of those zealots and taking them out. So unfortunately, I hadn't really, climbed the tech tree so much at this point. But I felt as long as he didn't get Colossi, I would be able to outman any kind of force he had. I mean, if he went for Void Rays or something, Marines are going to tear up those Void Rays. He could keep going Stalkers and Zealots, but there's too many Marines out for me at this point to really do anything. I was just really afraid of those Colossi that he might build. But, they never came. So at this point, okay, I decided it's time to put the, resources that I'd stockpiled while I was on, focusing on my base to start teching up. I decided, okay, let's get some siege tanks out there and let's start blowing away these cannons. So we can also see that Xeno has recovered a little bit and he's got a couple more roaches out here, and we decide that we're going to try and charge up this base. I still hadn't researched anything for my Marines, and he's got plenty of photon cannons out there and some stalkers, and we decide this is not a fight we want to. This is not a fight we want to fight right now. I'm pulling back, but his stalkers try and chase me out. Not a good idea. They're gonna get torn apart. So unfortunately, this match ends a little bit anticlimactically, and you'll see what I'm talking about. But at this point, I'm just taking up, trying to build cool new units that I can use to break this siege and take down those photon cannons. I was thinking either Banshees or siege tanks at this point. Banshees just to get in behind and destroy his regular base, not to actually try and kill those photon cannons, because that wouldn't work out very well. So, siege mode being researched by me, ready to start getting those tanks out there, also putting down starports. But, it's all for naught, because in approximately 17 seconds, my opponent's going to rage quit, and he decides that he doesn't want to stick around for, well, what I was hoping would be an epic siege against his base, and he decides he doesn't want to do that. So he just leaves. And, as well, purple leaves soon afterwards. So, there you go. Hope you guys enjoyed that. That was definitely a fun match for me. So, also gotta say, of course, if you've got any replays, love to see them. Always love to see your guys' replays. It's just hard. I got a lot of them backed up. Still working through my queue. I got a couple ready to be uploaded. But always, if you got an awesome replay, love to see it. And for now, this is gonna be JosefVStalin signing off, and you guys take care.